Happening tonight in Dalton, village officials there are planning to hold two separate meetings.
So for months, Mayor Tiffany Henyard has been at the center of scandals and lawsuits. Our Regina Waldrop is joining us live with some of the details. Regina, you've been covering this story for months. This could be a confusing night for residents with these dueling meetings.
It could, Alex, because we have Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard set to hold a village board meeting here at Village.
Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, finds herself at the center of a growing political storm, facing serious allegations of corruption, abuse of power, and financial mismanagement. Once regarded as a rising star in local politics, Henyard is now under intense scrutiny for reasons far removed from her previous public service achievements. This abrupt downfall has sent shockwaves through the community, with both citizens and political analysts questioning the integrity of the town's leadership. Henyard, who made history as the first female mayor of Dalton, has been no stranger to controversy since her election. Critics have long accused her of mismanagement, ethical violations, and an authoritarian leadership style. However, recent developments have taken these accusations to a new level, as allegations emerge that Henyard has used her position for personal gain. This has raised serious concerns about the ethical standards within Dalton's government and the potential misuse of taxpayer funds for private benefits. The situation took a dramatic turn with the involvement of Henyard's romantic partner, someone few expected to play a central role in this controversy. In a shocking courtroom revelation, Henyard's boyfriend reportedly testified against her, providing damning evidence that implicates the mayor in widespread misconduct. His sworn testimony included alarming details about personal financial transactions, questionable decisions, and instances where Henyard allegedly abused her power as mayor for personal enrichment. According to court documents, Henyard's boyfriend testified that she diverted municipal funds for personal luxuries, including extravagant vacations, high-end shopping sprees, and other non-governmental expenses. He further revealed that Henyard awarded lucrative contracts to businesses owned by her friends and family members, bypassing local procurement laws and ethical standards. Perhaps most damaging of all, her former partner claimed she accepted bribes from local contractors and developers in exchange for favorable treatment, prioritizing private interests over the well-being of Dalton's residents. This explosive testimony sent shockwaves through the courtroom, with witnesses describing Henyard's visible distress as the revelations unfolded. At one point, the mayor erupted into a furious outburst, shouting at her boyfriend and interrupting the proceedings. Her emotional reaction only added to the drama, fueling speculation about her potential guilt and drawing significant media attention. The public's reaction was immediate and intense. Social media erupted with criticism, as many Dalton residents expressed outrage and called for Henyard's immediate resignation. Legal experts suggest that if these allegations are proven true, Henyard could face severe consequences, including criminal charges, financial penalties, and even removal from office. The case has sparked outrage among the community, with residents demanding accountability and transparency. Many are calling for a full investigation into Henyard's actions and urging local officials to take swift and decisive action to restore public trust in the government. The political fallout from the scandal has been swift and significant. Several Dalton City Council members, once seen as Henyard's allies, have now distanced themselves from her. Some have even publicly called for her resignation, arguing that her continued presence in office undermines the integrity of local government. Even Henyard's most loyal supporters, who previously defended her against criticism, now seem uncertain about where they stand, further fracturing her support base. Meanwhile, Henyard's defense team has attempted to discredit the allegations, arguing that she is the target of a politically motivated attack orchestrated by her rivals. They suggest that the timing of the accusations, just months before a major election, is no coincidence, and that her political opponents are using the scandal to undermine her campaign. Henyard's supporters echo this defense, urging the public not to rush to judgment and insisting that she deserves a fair trial before being condemned in the court of public opinion. However, with mounting legal challenges and increasing public backlash, it remains uncertain whether Henyard will be able to weather the storm. The investigation into her alleged misconduct is ongoing, and more revelations are expected to surface in the coming weeks. The public remains captivated by the details of Henyard's alleged corruption, with many questions still unanswered. One of the most striking aspects of the case has been the role played by Henyard's romantic partner, who was once a trusted member of her inner circle. His testimony, which directly incriminated Henyard, has delivered a devastating blow to her defense and shattered the image of unity among her closest allies. What was once seen as a tightly knit team now appears fractured, with mistrust and division looming over Henyard's camp. The public's perception of Henyard has shifted dramatically. Many Dalton residents who once celebrated her historic election as the town's first female mayor now feel betrayed and disillusioned by the very person they trusted to lead them. As allegations continue to mount, the damage to Henyard's public image may already be irreversible, even if she is ultimately exonerated in a court of law. Beyond the political ramifications, the scandal has raised serious concerns about the long-term stability of Dalton's finances. Allegations of financial mismanagement have cast a dark cloud over the town's economic future, with residents fearing that Henyard's alleged misuse of taxpayer funds could have lasting consequences. As more details of her alleged actions emerge, political observers warn that the scandal could have far-reaching effects on Dalton's entire political landscape. If Henyard is found guilty, Dalton could face a leadership crisis, with growing calls for an early election or the appointment of an interim mayor to restore stability and public confidence. The courtroom scene during Henyard's boyfriend's testimony was described as tense, with shocking revelations coming one after another. Henyard's visible distress only reinforced the perception that the allegations against her had struck a nerve. At one point, she erupted into a furious outburst, shouting at her boyfriend and attempting to interrupt the proceedings. This emotional reaction has become a focal point of media coverage, further fueling speculation about her guilt. Social media continues to explode with criticism, and many Dalton residents are now demanding Henyard's immediate resignation. They are calling for an end to the political turmoil that has gripped the town. As the case against Henyard strengthens, the stakes could not be higher. If found guilty of corruption, she could face not only the end of her political career, but also legal consequences, including criminal charges, financial penalties, and even imprisonment. Beyond her personal fate, the scandal has raised broader concerns about the integrity of Dalton's local government and the potential long-term impact on the town's political future. The situation remains fluid, with the investigation continuing and more revelations expected to come to light. Henyard's legal team is working aggressively to defend her, but with each passing day, public patience wears thinner. The once promising political career of Tiffany Henyard is now in jeopardy. Whether she will be able to clear her name and restore her reputation remains uncertain. What is clear, however, is that the people of Dalton will not rest until they have answers, and the political fallout from this scandal will likely shape the town's future for years to come.
With an eviction lawsuit, NBC5 has obtained a copy of an eviction notice filed in Cook County Court. It names Henyard and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, who is a
Tiffany Henyard's political downfall now seems all but inevitable, as those closest to her continue to turn against her. It appears that federal investigators are capitalizing on this strategy, using mounting pressure to dismantle her inner circle. Rumors are swirling that Henyard's boyfriend, Kamal Woods, is now in custody and providing critical information about her alleged corrupt dealings. With each new revelation, the depth of corruption within her administration becomes more apparent. Nearly everyone in her orbit appears to be entangled in federal fraud and theft investigations, escalating the crisis at an alarming rate. Perhaps the most shocking development is how quickly Kamal Woods has allegedly betrayed Henyard. Given the circumstances, however, his decision seems almost inevitable. If Tiffany is facing serious prison time, cooperating with authorities may be his best chance to protect himself, and, more importantly, their child. The major question now is what role Kamal played in the scandal and why he has become a central target in the investigation. To fully grasp the situation, it is necessary to examine Henyard's history of maneuvering behind the scenes. For years, she managed to avoid serious scrutiny by surrounding herself with equally questionable individuals, creating a network of scapegoats who could absorb blame while she remained seemingly untouchable. As the mayor of Dalton, she allegedly orchestrated a range of dubious activities, but her carefully built empire collapsed when she abruptly disappeared from the public eye. Her sudden absence left many questioning her whereabouts and intentions. Speculation ran rampant, with many believing she was lying low, hoping the investigation would lose momentum before she could make a grand reappearance as if nothing had happened. However, her confidence in being untouchable proved to be her biggest mistake. She believed she had built a protective system in which her closest allies would be willing to take the fall for her, but she underestimated the federal investigators. Authorities applied pressure strategically, breaking down her network one person at a time. As the walls closed in, even those who had once been fiercely loyal to her began to see no other choice but to save themselves, at her expense. The most damaging betrayal came from none other than her boyfriend, Kamal Woods. When he realized that his own freedom was at risk, he did not hesitate to turn on Henyard. Now, as the case against her grows stronger, the reality of her situation is setting in. With her former allies testifying against her and federal investigators tightening their grip, Tiffany Henyard's political career appears to be in freefall. What remains to be seen is just how deep the corruption runs and what consequences she will ultimately face.